Welcome to the new school year. All of us at Shurley Instructional Materials are excited to help you prepare for a successful year teaching Shurley English. In today's workshop, I'd like to give you the extra boost you need to get your game face on and classroom ready for the new school year. Today's topic is titled, Implementing Shurley English. You've got this! We want you to feel confident and motivated as you begin instructing a new class of students. So, whether you're a brand new teacher, a veteran teacher, or a first-year Shurley English teacher, we've got you covered. I know from past experience that the beginning of the year is always very busy. By now, many of you have already been immersed in teacher in-services, and some of you may be feeling overwhelmed by the trainings that support your curricula. One of the most important tools to ensure success is proper training. If you missed out on our Shurley English full-day training, please contact our corporate office for professional development opportunities. You can also check out our website, www.shurley.com, and our YouTube channel to view our brief introductory training presentations or our mini training series, all led by our senior national consultant. Training or no training, the Shurley English Teacher's Manual has been set up to guide you the entire way. Today, I'd like to discuss some important points that you may not find in your Shurley English Teacher's Manual, but come from over 2 decades of experience teaching this jewel of a curriculum to children and educators in kindergarten through the 8th grade. During the webinar, I will be utilizing the latest edition of Shurley English. If you have a different edition, don't worry. The tips I will share today are valuable and relevant to every Shurley teacher. While you're busy preparing your classrooms, lessons, and getting yourself mentally prepared, consider this. Today's preparation will help you achieve tomorrow's success. My intention is to help you set your mind at ease when it comes to preparing yourself, the human being, to delve into the task of teaching children how to communicate using this impactful curriculum. Yes, that's right. When you teach Shurley English, you are ultimately teaching them how to express their thoughts and ideas. I've created 5 Power Prep tips that will help you teach Shurley English with more confidence. I would keep these tips nearby to help you stay focused on your big picture goal, teaching students the valuable life skill of communication. Tip 1. Befriend a veteran Shurley teacher. These teachers are a valuable resource for any teacher, especially new Shurley English users. With the internet and social media at our fingertips, it's easy to connect with anyone, anywhere. Teachers that have been teaching Shurley English for a while can help you see the big picture of how the curriculum works to make the grammar writing connection. They can guide you through the intricate details of the teacher's manual. They can offer tips on how to accommodate new students, especially the ones that come into your classroom mid-year. They can also help you stay accountable to the pacing of the lessons, as well as help you teach with fidelity. The next tip is tip number 2. Follow the teacher's manual. Keep the teacher's manual by your side or in your hands and follow it page by page. The teacher's manual is the heart of the curriculum. It has everything your students need to develop into confident, competent communicators. Each grade level begins teaching basic Pattern 1 sentences, so every teacher must begin instructing from Chapter 1, Lesson 1. Each chapter will incorporate grammar, skills, writing, speaking and listening, and reading. Remember, the concepts are spiraled throughout the curriculum, and each one builds off of the next one, so it's very important to follow the lessons step by step. As you allow the learning process to unfold, you will gain a deeper understanding of each concept and its importance in the grammar writing connection. If you're interested in looking over the scope and sequence, it's under the Downloads tab on our website. In addition, the Shurley team has compiled numerous visuals to assist you along the way. Use the teacher instructions and scripts, student objectives, modifications, and teacher notes and tips to help you feel clear about each lesson you teach. Also, get familiar with the quick reference section in the back of your teacher's manual. There, you will find all of the jingles, tools to assist you with the writing process, as well as other resource tools and various activities to engage the brain. My next Power Prep tip is tip number 3, preview each lesson. It's not necessary to memorize the lesson, but make sure you preview each lesson prior to teaching it. Look at the student objectives and have a general understanding of the concepts you are teaching on a daily basis. Or, digital users, you can access your Shurley English digital assistant. Simply click on the CETA icon to listen to a pre-recorded version of the lesson. Teach Shurley English as though you've been teaching it for years. You don't have to have majored in English. You just need to trust that your confidence will increase with experience teaching this unique methodology. If you come across something that sparks an interest or raises a question, our website and social media presence may help you find just what you're looking for. Familiarize yourself with our website, www.shurley.com, to view demonstrations, read helpful blogs, and research-based information, or even download pre-writing maps. Check out our YouTube channel for informative tutorials and short workshops that support your Shurley English instruction. Let's move on to the 4th Power Prep tip. Stay consistent. That means stick to the script and avoid adding extras to the lesson. Remember, your goal is to equip your students with all the tools they need to express themselves with confidence and competence, so follow the flow of the unique features and have patience while the connection unfolds. Consistency is more successful when you establish strong classroom guidelines and effective time management strategies. Many people appreciate some sort of structure to help them stay focused, and Shurley English provides just that. From the consistency of the layout of each lesson, to the sequence of the question and answer flow, and on to the steps in the writing process, intentional instruction and a true understanding of grammar and how it applies to writing can be nurtured. When your students know what's expected of them and have the tools, including a safe and structured environment to work in, they will be more likely to take the academic risks necessary to express themselves. All you need to do is create the space and keep the lessons rolling. Remember, each lesson plan is already done for you, so it's possible to complete one lesson per day. Follow your teacher instructions to stay consistent and to avoid creating unintentional gaps in student learning. I've seen this happen when teachers alter or omit certain features in the curriculum. Let's say teacher A decides that he or she is going to teach the question and answer flow a different way. The students spend the entire year learning it one way, and then the next year, their new teacher, teacher B, teaches it like it's prescribed in the book. What ends up happening is the students from teacher A's class fall behind in the Q&A flow, building sentence blueprints, and teacher B now has to take additional time to reteach those students. This can slow their progress and leave out important foundational information necessary for other concepts to grow from. The Shurley English Teacher's Manual has a proven and purposeful design. So when you follow each lesson and stick to the script, there's no need to add activities or extra worksheets to the lessons. Though I am in favor of creating bulletin boards around your classroom that support your Shurley English instruction. My personal mindset is that once you learn a concept, it's important to start applying that concept in your daily life. That's the only way you'll get better at it. In Shurley English, our students master concepts through repetition. The more they see it, say it, hear it, and do it, the easier it becomes. Bulletin boards can act as a teacher's helper when it comes to your grammar skills and writing instruction. When something is out of sight, it is usually out of mind. So keep these concepts in plain sight to set your students up for an extra learning opportunity. How do you use bulletin boards in your classroom? Do you use them to brighten up or show off student work? Maybe you use them as a means to communicate what's happening around the school or even around the world. Or do you take it a step further and create bulletin boards that function as an instructional tool? All of these are powerful ways to support and reinforce your instruction, so be intentional when you choose to dress up your classroom. Let's look at a few different types of commonly used bulletin boards. We'll first take a quick look at display or sharing bulletin boards. When you create a bulletin board that displays or shares student-created work, the focus is on showing progress and growth over perfection or mastery of their work. This type of bulletin board helps to reinforce a classroom culture that values individual differences and allows the work of all students, regardless of their behavior or ability, to be shared. Another type of bulletin board is the informational bulletin board. These bulletin boards do just that. They inform. They serve as a means of communication between the teacher and the students. You might include announcements, emergency information, school policies, or even a calendar. Informational bulletin boards may also provide directions to students and can also act as a place where they can retrieve previously taught information to use for current tasks. Look at the interactive bulletin board. This type of bulletin board is closely related to a learning center. It contains specific tasks for students to complete. The tasks relate to the lesson or theme they're currently studying. Interactive bulletin boards act as an additional teacher in the classroom by engaging students without direct teacher instruction. Yes, I know, bulletin boards can take some extra time and effort, but if you prepare wisely, they can support your classroom so that the benefits outweigh the time spent creating it. However you decide to dress up your classroom, keep in mind that there aren't any rules when it comes to making bulletin boards. You can even combine different types of bulletin boards into one. Just remember to be intentional and allow your creativity to shine. Allow me to show you 3 different types of bulletin boards that will reinforce your Shurley English instruction. Feel free to take these ideas, create your own, and leave them up throughout the year. Let me begin by saying that creating a well-written sentence, paragraph, or essay is an art. It requires the writer own their language well enough to put all of the skills together to paint a picture or an experience in the reader's mind. With the correct knowledge, skill, and consistent practice, your students will be better equipped to communicate with effectiveness. Having the words to express your ideas and the understanding of how those words work together to form sentences is a key part of the writing foundation. Recognizing the role that each word plays in a sentence is vital to developing a writing piece that comes to life. So being able to manipulate the parts of speech is very important. As you begin teaching the Shurley English curriculum, you'll find that the 8 parts of speech come up quickly in the book. You will also find that you move through the 8 parts of speech very quickly. I've created a bulletin board idea that focuses on the 8 parts of speech. It's simple, and you may even already do it. Since I'm connecting art and language, I've used an artist and paint splashes to highlight each part of speech. The first part of speech that you will teach will be the subject noun. Your gut will probably tell you to ask your students to share some words that name a person, place, thing, or idea. Nouns. Have your own paint splashes created or turn that into its own art activity. In pairs or individually, ask your students to create a list of words that name various nouns and write them on the smaller paint splashes to be hung around the large noun paint splash. Once you move on to the next part of speech, you can do a couple of different things. You can remove the various nouns from the board and start creating a word wall on a different space in your classroom. If your parts of speech bulletin board is a large space, you might want to just add the next area of focus, the verb. Take the same approach and name some action verbs, linking verbs, or even create a section for helping verbs. Get creative and remember, The intention is to keep these important concepts in plain view so that your students see it, say it, hear it, and do it. As you teach new parts of speech, just follow the previous steps and remember that repetition leads to mastery. Once you've taught all 8 parts of speech, you can help your students begin to see that the parts of speech are necessary to create their piece of abstract art, or in Shurley English terms, a sentence. I do want to point out that each part of speech is color-coded to match the colors in your Shurley English Teacher's Manual. Color coding is a great way to reach learners of different styles. The next bulletin board I've created incorporates a few different strategies from your teacher and student books. Activities such as vocabulary, analogies, etymology, and word time often get overlooked in Shurley English, so why not turn them into a bulletin board? Each time there is a new vocabulary word, use this process to support your instruction. As we know, understanding words and word relationships are key to building a competent writer. So add some flair and engage your students more fully when you teach word time. The book asks your students to enter this information and a picture to help them remember the vocabulary word into their vocabulary notebook. One way to add more value to this part of the lesson is to do it as a guided practice. Let me reiterate the importance of the consistency and the concept of see it, say it, hear it, do it. Repetition is what helps students begin to own their language. Now, I borrowed from a few of our strategies to create this word study bulletin board. Notice, it's smaller and very interactive. I used index cards and sentence strips, both of which can be laminated and reused each time you study a new word. It's set up for you to guide them until your students are able to lead the class and you become the guide by the side. Okay, start with the vocabulary word given in the teacher's manual and student book. Write it on the white index card. Then have the class find the definition in the dictionary. Then use a thesaurus to find a synonym and antonym for the vocabulary word. All of the information will be in your books, like the analogy. Walk them through the analogy and identify the relationship. Analogies tend to be challenging for many students, so see this as another opportunity for them to practice. Next, look at the original sentence. Notice I've borrowed from the sentence blueprint page and added it to the word study board. As a class, create an original sentence using the vocabulary word. Then, use these word choice strategies to strengthen or change the sentence. Synonym, antonym, word change, added word, deleted word, or no change. You can determine which strategies to use to improve the original sentence, just like you teach your students on this page in their workbooks. Then, write it in the revised sentence space. I've included a part of speech pocket in order to identify which part of speech the vocabulary word is. Place the correct part of speech in the front of the pocket. From there, take the vocabulary word and create a list of synonyms or power words that make the original word sound more interesting. Again, I borrowed this idea from the Power Words activity in your book. Students could use sticky notes to post their synonyms or powerful words in this section. The ideas are endless. Aim for student engagement and a connection to your Shurley English instruction. So far, you've got 2 interactive bulletin boards that cover grammar and skills. Now, let me show you my bulletin board that focuses on writing. It's called Writer's Way. To support good writers, this bulletin board allows you and your students to travel through the writing process. As they work their way through each step you assign from your teacher's manual, students can use this bulletin board to keep them focused and engaged. The pencil shows the 6 steps in the writing process: pre-writing, rough draft, revising, editing, final paper, and publishing. The numbered clothespins are used to track each student and the step they are on in the process. I've used numbers instead of names for student confidentiality. Now, follow me down the trail of traits. We know that good writers follow a set of established guidelines for each step in the writing process, and the effective traits of writing align with each step in the process. Each trait is also color-coded to coincide with the colors in your teacher's manual and student book. When the student lifts up the flap, they will check to see if their writing piece meets the requirements for each trait. I simply type the questions from the student rubric to place inside each of the trait cards. Look at the yellow folder titled Writing Prompts. During the pre-writing step in the writing process, a writer generates ideas. I've added a list of extra writing prompts here to help students get their writing wheels spinning. As they move through each step in the writing process, they will follow the traits. Take a look at the orange and purple folders. You could also include a list of descriptive writing words like adjectives and adverbs to help students make the best word choices to express their ideas. Once they reach the final steps in the writing process, they can publish their writing piece. They may decide to post their final paper on Authors Avenue and present it to the class. Some students may elect to type their final paper or write it on a regular sheet of paper. You may want to create a class book for each writing genre so your students can place their final writing pieces in it to be shared at parent-teacher conferences. When you've got a valuable concept that you want your students to really grasp, don't let it hide in the teacher's manual. Bring it to life on a bulletin board. You don't have to be an artist to create an informative, student-centered bulletin board. Just take what's already been created in your teacher's manual and dress it up. Let's get back to my final Power Prep tip, which might be the most important one of all. Tip number 5 is, be human and have fun. It may sound cliche, but allow yourself to be less than perfect. That means let go of the need to get it all right the first time or rush to finish the entire book. Accept that you will make mistakes in front of your students, so be willing to learn alongside them. They will start to see you as a human being like them. Teaching Shurley English allows you to build a connection with your students that fosters trust and tremendous growth. I highly recommend taking a lighthearted yet committed approach to teaching Shurley English. Trust the process, smile, laugh, and make it fun for yourself and your students. To completely trust the process in Shurley English is to be able to let go of the need to know what is unfolding or why, and with confidence, simply experience how the repetition and spiraling of concepts lead to mastery of grammar and how it is applied to writing. Always remember, you, the teacher, know the value in effective communication, but your students may not. Your creativity and enthusiasm for teaching them how to express their thoughts and ideas will shine through with the environment you create. When your students see that you value the process of communication, they will begin to understand the importance in what they're learning. I want to thank you for attending today's presentation and wish you a year full of Shurley English success. For more information about our curriculum, subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our language arts instructional videos and visit us at www.shurley.com.